died early Sunday after he was hit in the head by a bat while trying to retrieve a ball that had come onto the field. In response, the Baseball Congress is suspending the use of all bat boys for the rest of its World Series. A GoFundMe page to help cover the child's funeral costs has now raised more than $88,000. Man accused of fatally shooting a Memphis cop turned himself in. Ex-convict Tremaine Wilborn told Memphis Police Director Tony Armstrong he was not a cold-blooded killer and not a coward. That after Armstrong used those names to publicly call out Wilborn during the two-day manhunt. Wilborn is accused of shooting Officer Sean Bolton Saturday night during a traffic stop. Outrage over the handcuffing of kids in school. It's happened now to 2 Kentucky school children, both of which have ADHD, attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. One of the incidents involved an 8-year-old boy and was caught on camera. And now the sheriff and deputy who did the cuffing face lawsuits as a result. Here's Lindsay Davis with more.
Don't get to swing at me like that.
An alarming classroom scene caught on video. Watch as this Kentucky sheriff handcuffs an 8-year-old boy.
You can do what we've asked you to, or you can suffer the consequences.
This third grader crying out in pain, his hands behind his back, handcuffed for 15 minutes because of behavior which his attorney says is related to his ADHD.
Now sit down in the chair like I've asked you to.
He stands 3.5 feet tall, weighed approximately 54 pounds, and at no time is he ever a danger to himself or to anybody else.
The video, filmed by a school staff member, was released Monday by the American Civil Liberties Union, part of a new federal lawsuit just filed against this sheriff. The ACLU and attorneys for the parents alleging he subjected this and another child with disabilities to unnecessary and excessive handcuffing, claiming as a result they experienced pain, fear, and emotional trauma and an exacerbation of their disabilities.
Handcuffs have no place in schools with little children who are having discipline issues.
According to the Department of Education, students with disabilities make up 12% of public school students, but they make up 75% of all students subjected to physical restraint at school.
It's your decision to behave this way.
Now the ACLU is calling for an end to this kind of discipline, saying it does more harm than good.
If you want the handcuffs off, you're going to have to behave and ask me nicely.
Lindsay Davis reporting there. As of this afternoon, the Kenton County Sheriff's Department says they have no more comment until they review those lawsuits that have already been filed. Around the world this afternoon, U.S. and coalition military forces have continued their airstrikes against ISIS in both Syria and Iraq. Yesterday, there were 8 strikes in Syria, hitting several ISIS strongholds, including fighting positions, tactical units, resupply vehicles, and bunkers. In Iraq, 21 airstrikes, one of which destroyed a suspected Islamic State group IED. In Hong Kong, there is a new symbol of protest: bras. That's what some angry citizens were wearing during protests against what they say is an absurd and sexist ruling. A sentencing of a female protester to prison for assaulting a police officer with her breast. That's the charge. She said the cop touched her breast, and when she reacted, she was then arrested. Protesters say the ruling sets a dangerous precedent for that country. Closer to home, a live look at conditions in Washington this afternoon. Cooler start to the morning, but things have warmed up quickly, and that's haze and humidity in the air right now. We'll get a closer look at what's in store for the rest of the week when we come right back.
The Play of the Day is brought to you by Eastern's Automotive.